"My son told me to wait outside. We're not ready yet." That's what he said. And I listened. It was cold that evening. I remember standing by the front door, holding a small cake I had baked for my grandson's birthday. The wind was sharp, and I kept shifting from one foot to another to keep warm. I could smell the faint scent of candles and roasted food coming from inside the house. I smiled at first. I thought maybe they were just setting things up, lighting candles or preparing a surprise. My son Daniel had always been thoughtful like that, so I waited patiently. 5 minutes passed, then 10. I looked at the window beside the porch. Through the curtain, I could see shadows moving. People walking, talking, laughing. I thought maybe they were calling everyone to the table. My fingers were freezing, so I pulled my shawl tighter and held the cake close to my chest. Then, curiosity got the better of me. I stepped a little closer to the window and peeked through the small gap between the curtains. And that's when my heart sank. They were already sitting down. All of them. The table was full of food. There were balloons, a big happy birthday sign on the wall, and my grandson, Adam, sat there with a wide smile on his face. He was wearing a little party hat, blowing out candles. Everyone clapped. Everyone. Except me, I froze. For a moment, I thought maybe it was just a rehearsal. Maybe they'd invite me in after the song. But they didn't. They started cutting the cake, laughing, taking photos, and I realized they hadn't forgotten me. They just didn't want me there. I stood outside that window watching my own family celebrate a birthday I wasn't welcome to. I couldn't even describe what I felt. It wasn't just sadness. It was emptiness. I had baked a small cake myself that morning, my hands trembling from the old arthritis that's been bothering me lately. I wanted to surprise Adam. I wanted to hug him, tell him how proud I was. I even wrapped a small toy truck, just like the ones I used to buy for Daniel when he was young. But there I was, standing in the cold, watching them celebrate without me. After a while, I heard the door open. My daughter-in-law Lisa stepped out. She looked startled to see me there. "Oh, Mom, you came early," she said, her voice low. "Early?" I asked softly. "It's already started." She looked away for a moment. "Well, we thought maybe you'd want a rest today. It's a bit noisy inside, you know how the kids get." I smiled weakly. "Noisy? I don't mind noise. I just wanted to see Adam." Before she could answer, Daniel came to the door. His face was tight. "Mom," he said quietly, "I told you we weren't ready yet." "Ready?" I repeated, confused. "But I stopped myself. I saw you cutting the cake." He sighed, rubbing his forehead. "Mom, listen. We just wanted to keep things simple this year. Adam has friends over, it's crowded. You know, space is tight." I nodded slowly. "So there's no space for me." "Mom, it's not like that," he said quickly. "We'll come visit you later, okay? I promise." His words were polite, but his eyes were distant. It wasn't anger in them. It was discomfort. Like he didn't know what to do with me anymore. I took a breath and tried to smile. "Of course, dear. You enjoy the party. I'll go." Lisa looked a bit guilty. "Do you want to come in for just a minute? Maybe say hi?" But I could tell she didn't mean it. It was one of those offers people make because they feel they should, not because they want to. So, I shook my head. "No, it's all right. I should be getting home anyway." I turned and walked away, holding the small cake close so it wouldn't fall. I didn't cry until I reached the corner of the street. Then, the tears came. Not because of anger, but because I realized something painful. I had become the kind of mother people feel sorry for, the one who waits outside her son's house, unwanted but still hoping. When I reached home, I put the cake on the kitchen table. The house was cold and quiet. I sat there for a long time, just staring at the cake. Then I lit a small candle. Not for a birthday, but for comfort. I whispered, "Happy birthday, Adam," and smiled through my tears. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying the moment he told me to wait outside. I kept seeing their laughter through the window. I thought about how things used to be. When Daniel was little, and he'd beg me to make his favorite chocolate cake. How he used to run to me with every drawing he made, calling, "Mom, look." When did that change? When did I stop being part of his life? Over the next few days, I tried to keep busy. I cleaned, I read old letters, I watered the plants, but I couldn't shake off the ache in my chest. It's strange how loneliness can make even a full house feel empty. A week later, I got a call from Daniel. His voice was cheerful, like nothing had happened. "Hey, Mom. Just wanted to check on you." "I'm fine," I said softly. "How was the party?" "It was good," he said. "Adam had a great time. I'll send you some pictures." I wanted to tell him how it felt to stand outside that window, but I didn't. I didn't want to sound bitter, so I just said, "That's nice." He looked so happy. He paused for a moment. "Mom, listen. About that night. I'm sorry if it hurt your feelings." I smiled even though he couldn't see it. "It's all right, dear. You don't have to explain." But I could hear in his voice that he didn't really understand how deeply it had cut me. After we hung up, I decided to do something different. Instead of waiting for them to make time for me, I started making time for myself. I joined a small community group at the library. We read books and shared stories. I made a friend there, a kind woman named Ruth, who was also a grandmother. She told me something that stayed with me. "We give our children roots and wings," she said. "The wings help them fly, but sometimes they fly so far, they forget where the roots are." That made me tear up a little, because she was right. I had given Daniel everything: love, care, comfort. But I had also given him the space to fly. I just didn't know how much it would hurt when he stopped coming back. Months passed. I didn't visit them much after that. They didn't invite me often either, but I sent gifts for every occasion. Birthdays, anniversaries, small holidays. It wasn't about getting attention. It was about staying connected, even from afar. Then one afternoon, there was a knock at my door. When I opened it, Adam stood there, my little grandson. He had grown so much. He smiled shyly. "Hi, Grandma," he said, holding a small card. My heart melted instantly. "Adam, what a surprise. Come in, come in." He handed me the card. "Mom and Dad said I should bring this to you. It's for your birthday." I opened it. It was a handmade card, drawn with crayons. A big red heart in the middle, and in his handwriting it said, "I love you, Grandma." Tears filled my eyes. "Thank you, sweetheart. This means the world to me." He looked at the table and saw the same cake dish I used that night. "Grandma, is that the cake you made for me?" I smiled. "Yes, dear. I couldn't finish it that day, but I made another one last week." He giggled. "Can I have some?" "Of course," I said, cutting a slice for him. We sat together, eating cake, talking about his school and his friends. For a little while, it felt like old times. Warm, simple, happy. Before leaving, he hugged me tightly and whispered, "Next time, you come early, Grandma. I'll make sure you sit next to me." That hug healed something in me that day. It didn't fix everything, but it reminded me that love can still find its way through small cracks. After he left, I sat by the window. The same window I had once looked through in tears, and smiled. Sometimes love doesn't shout. Sometimes it whispers quietly through a child's voice. Maybe one day Daniel will realize how much those small moments meant. Maybe one day he'll understand the pain of being left outside by someone you love more than yourself. But until then, I will keep loving, keep forgiving, and keep hoping, because that's what mothers do. And to everyone listening, if you've ever stood outside, waiting for someone to let you in, please know this: your love still matters. You are still needed even if no one says it out loud. The world may forget your kindness, but your heart remembers. Keep your light on. Keep your door open, because one day, someone who forgot you will find their way back, And when they do, your love will still be there, waiting. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe. Someone out there might need to hear this too, to be reminded that love, even when it hurts, is never wasted.